Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Mayor's Wellness Campaign Chair Yoga. I'm Christina Chismar. Thank you so much for joining me. As usual, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you speak to a doctor in regards to starting any kind of workout. Make sure you have some water handy. I'm talking a lot about not drinking enough water with a lot of my friends. I drink like 3 of these a day. So make sure you stay hydrated. Very important to just take care of your overall health. Loose fitting clothing, grab a chair, do whatever feels good. If it doesn't feel right, ease out of it. You know the drill. We're going to be playing around with some different types of standing things, some different types of things like triangle. I'm loving pyramid pose right now, so we'll be playing around with that as well as my personal all-time favorite pose, which is pigeon. But we'll get started. We'll do a quick little warm-up. If you need a little more, you always have the other videos. But wherever you are, making sure as you're sitting in your chair, back is nice and straight. We're not leaning against our chair, keeping our diaphragm open and beautiful and big. Feet hip width apart. Eyes closed if you like. Hands on your thighs, palms down for receiving energy, palms up if you need a little more energy coming into your breath. Just relax. Putting your hands on your thighs, face down if they're not, or next to the chair. We're just going to start opening up our hips a little bit, just going back and forth, left and right, over the chair, keeping your sits bones down. You don't want to be lifting, because that's how you're going to fall out of your chair. Another reason why we like to have the feet hip width apart, otherwise if they're close together, I look like a cartoon character. Not good. Just bringing it across. If you want to, this doesn't feel right, you can always make some hip circles. Make sure if you're making your hip circles, pausing at the top, reversing those circles. Just playing around. We're not doing a big one today. And back into center. Doing some cat-cows here. Inhale, making your big belly nice and big. Chest expands, letting that collarbone shine. Exhale, rolling back into your cat. This is when you can roll that spine. Inhaling back up. Exhaling back down. Obviously, I'm overemphasizing. That's what makes it fun. If you want to add to it, when you go through the exhale, inhale, exhale, lifting up one leg, cat chasing a tail. Get called. Come back up. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Making sure you're at more of the edge of your chair, maybe coming into just right underneath your gluteus maximus onto the thighs. Finding that comfy spot. Bring your legs out in front of you for a moment. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bow it down. Oh, so good. Letting your body hang out here as long as it feels good. Enjoying that stretch. Toes up. Point them forward. See how that goes. Try to stay in your chair. I almost fell out of mine. Back up and down. Enjoying. Starting with our right leg. I'm not even going to attempt to mirror. Keeping that right leg straight. Press down on it. Left leg is bent in. Once again, still keeping hip width apart. Press down. Carefully. You don't want to force it down. You don't want to be trying to break your knee so it turns the other way. Just pressing it in, just getting a little more into the hamstrings, psoas, whatever they want to call it. And switch. Toes are pointed. This actually feels really good. We'll do it again. Switch. Switch. It's a beautiful thing. So, because we're going to do pigeon standing up, I want to make sure we Remember how we do it sitting down, starting with your right leg. You know, we always do eagle to pigeon, but just doing pigeon, crossing it over, putting some pressure on it. Notice that my hips are not even. Ideally, you just want to look down at yourself. You should see a triangle between your legs. So you have a figure 4, putting one hand on your ankle, one hand on your knee, press, don't push. In theory, if I needed to, I could just take this arm away and just let my body cross over the top, letting my arms hang down, using gravity to do its job, to just loosen everything up. This feels nice. I love pigeon. Such a great hip opener. And doing it this way is not as like it can be a little much when you do it on the floor. I'll go if you want. I know it's my class, I'll do it for you. Seated. We're doing it on the floor, how we traditionally do it. You're crossing your leg over in front. Ideally, you want to bring 100% across 90 degrees if you had your mat, if you had a 90 degree, completely parallel to the front of your mat. My knee does not do that. Back leg is straight, hips are up. Then you would lay down to be a sleeping pigeon. That can be a lot. You can also do it seated. Doing it from this side. So your legs are up. I don't want to wear my shoes anymore. Legs are up. You're taking the right leg in this case, crossing it over. Making a figure 4 seated. Notice my back is straight. You roll your back. It's just not a good feeling. You're putting pressure into your core, and it's not a good kind of pressure. It's a hurts my lower back pressure. Pressing it into your arms. Roll the shoulders back. But noticing, as you get the nice strength, you can always rest. It's just different ways to do it. Now, since I did that, I have to do it on the left side. Coming back into your chair. Making the figure 4 again. Sorry, this knee's acting up today. Once again, finding that spot, making that figure 4. I don't care if this is it. I don't care if you're like this. Crossing your legs. This is the safe way. What do they say? It's not good. It's not good for circulation to fully cross. I don't remember. Basically, anything you learned about etiquette, breathing, everything else in the 70s was wrong. So my mother tells me. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, folding yourself down, using your arms as support. You could always stay up. Just rest, hang out. Whatever feels good to you. I like putting my entire body down because I like to add in that little pressure. Using your body as opposed to weights. I prefer it when I do my yogas and everything else because you are getting used to your body type. A lot of my friends were in this period right now where they're all losing a ton of weight, like just taking care of themselves, everything. And it's actually funny, 2 years ago, one of my very good friends started losing so much weight, her equilibrium was off, and she actually saved a child and ran into a wall. And I said it was because her equilibrium, she was used to carrying around so much more weight. So getting more familiar with your body, learning your center of balance, learning your center of gravity. That's really what we're doing here. We're centering ourselves. So I'd like to not use the weights. Once again, going to the floor. If it helps, going from your down dog, flipping it underneath. Once again, if it goes all the way across, flex your foot, come to my class, you can teach it for me because I can't go across. Noticing, you can't really see it on this side, but your booty is staying equal. If you drop into your side, you can tell. Now you're going like that, now good. You want to stay up, your hips are centered. You need to keep your arms there. Equal weight distribution in your hands, drop yourself down if it feels good. Or, another way of doing seated, arms back, shoulder, spine as straight as you can. Works into the hips. You're focusing on that area. Beautiful. Coming up to standing. First little shoulder stretch because we are going to be getting into shoulders that I think is awesome. My chair is a little low, but if you have a bigger chair like a dining room chair, it comes in handy. taking your hands together. Now we'll go and do the lift, pressing our hands back. Kind of that concept, you're framing out your head with your forearms, or your triceps, excuse me. Try dropping your triceps onto the chair, just stretching. Bring your hands onto your back. If it's accessible, try to just keep your head even with your arms. Don't want to hang. Just trying to keep it even. You're working into your shoulders, not into your neck. Keeping your core engaged. This is actually kind of helping you with your core too, because if your core is not engaged, chair starts going. So you're holding the chair there while working into your shoulders. Don't forget, your core is not just your abs. Your core is everything. So while you can get your six-pack, you also have to make sure you have a strong back, because you can have the greatest six-pack in the world, and it doesn't matter because your back is out. Moving on. Getting into a standing pigeon. Once again, this is going to be a little awkward for me because the chair is a little bit lower. I'm not touching that table. That table's 100 million years old. But we'll start with our right leg. Find any position you want. If you'd rather have the chair facing you, go for it. I want the chair on my side so I can just hold on to it. Once again, finding your spot. You might like it like this and then gradually turning it so you don't have that support. Starting with our right leg, lifting it up. Quick aside, I was talking with my girlfriends, I call her Halo Heather. I was telling her we do flamingo when we do our lift. One thing I always give our seniors praise for when we used to do our classes, we weren't going like this. You're lifting up with the back. If you can grab your foot, awesome, flamingo. We're going to do this on the other side now, but just to illustrate my point, as we swing our leg forward, placing your shin, your calf, onto the chair. I could bend into it, but that's just going to add more pressure. Let me try something. Nope, not going to happen. My chair is not that low, not that tall. But just putting yourself across like this. Noticing once again, trick to hips. My hips are here. My knees out. You can tell because I have all this extra space. So it's a hip opener. Congratulations. Doesn't matter how you're doing. This is a less invasive thing to do. Once again, making sure that once again, my chair is a little too short. So if it needs to be taller or you need to be shorter, it might even help to have something underneath. I don't have anything, unfortunately. But just finding the space here. Once again, you're making a figure four. See? Making your triangle, figure four, but you're standing. It's a novel concept. Reverse it. Doing it to the other side. Left side, you can always flip the chair to this side, or you can keep it the back facing your knee now. Same as before. Starting with our flamingo. Noticing we're not reaching out. Flamingos, if you watch them, they don't go like this. They lift. So notice my thighs. Grab it if you got it. If you don't got it, once again, that lift is all that matters. Holding here for a second. Coming over. Putting your leg onto the chair. Finding that spot. Trying to keep it out. Like I'm noticing if I'm putting too much pressure into my thing, I start feeling it in my hip flexor, this area here. So by putting too much pressure, like my knee is locked right now, notice my left knee versus my right leg. Easing down over it. This could even come in handy if you're sitting and talking to somebody and they're on a bed. Laying your leg across like this. Leaning into the bed so you have a softness as opposed to a hard chair. Finding your happy spot. Just nice. Let it go. So like I said, we're going to try our triangle so we can get into our pyramid. Once again, not doing anything too crazy. Back of the chair for support. Move it over so you can see. Look at your legs. I like to, once again, use the chair. I've been doing this a little bit longer, so I have the flexibility in my legs to spread myself out. I'm going to slide because of the socks. But getting into warrior two first. So look down. Make sure you have heel to arch alignment. Using your chair support, you're facing your chair. You'd have your hands out to the sides or on the chair. Feels good. Knees bent. Knee does not go over the ankle. If you feel like you have more space, you slide out with the left leg, in this case, the back leg. And come in a little bit. Straightening out that front leg, coming into your triangle pose. Try it again. Holding onto the chair. If it feels good, reaching arms out or one arm out, drop it down. Oh, that feels so nice. But noticing my legs do not move. It's all on the chest. The idea is you're going to have this side as straight as possible. Lines of energy. Hand isn't like this. Hand is like that. If you can't reach the ground, perfectly fine. It's better to keep everything in alignment because you don't want to drop your neck down and have your spine all twisted. That just hurts. So finding that spot. Lifting yourself up, other side. Finding your area. Finding the heel to arch alignment again. Starting with your warrior two. Facing the chair. Knees. If you don't know if your knee is going over your toe, over your ankle, look down. If you cannot see your big toe, pull it back in. Or it could be over too much, so press it over. Just look for that back toe, that front big toe. Arms can come out straight if you just want to test your balance. This is a huge core pose. You're squeezing in your Mula Bandha. You're doing a Kegel. Hold everything in. You loosen it up. Once again, you're not engaging your core. You feel this a lot in your thighs. By engaging your core, you're helping utilize all the correct muscles so you don't have as much pain. Or at least I don't find it as much pain. Straightening out that front leg. Bringing it back. Straightening out again. This time bring your arm out. If it feels good, you can always just stay here. Bonus is if you get a little hip crack, because I just did. Drop down wherever it feels good. Just noticing the pain. Once again, arm can go up or stay down. It's not a contest. I haven't said it in a few days, so I'll say it again. You'll never find yoga in the Olympics. This is to train your brain. Train yourself to be comfortable. Train yourself to let go of the junk, the noise. This is your quiet time as I don't stop talking. Lifting yourself all the way back out and get out of it. Oh my God. Whew. So pyramid pose is extremely similar to triangle pose. Do it on the left side and then the right side just because the left side's there. So we've done our warrior two. Warrior one, you can do two different ways. You're going to have heel to heel alignment. If this is too much and you feel too wobbly, railroad tracks. Noticing my legs? You're having your hips facing forward. Your back heel is ending out. Your toes are facing to the side of the room. So you got a 45-degree angle, heel to heel alignment, or wider if it feels better. I'm doing a little bit wider because I like how it feels. Hands go up. Once again, ankle or knee stays in front, behind the ankle or in line with the ankle. Just getting into your warrior. I'm going to get into a lunge in a second, but first, straightening out the front leg. Bringing it back into your warrior one. Straightening out. Warrior one. This is your pyramid. So, once again, chair is there to be your friend. Two options for the chair. Keep it here. Or, I need to move my water. Chair, well, depending on your level, you can either have the back of the chair or the front of the chair. Making sure you're in your pyramid legs, reaching forward. Flat back. If you have it, you can always drop your hands down, taking more of a full pyramid, draping yourself over that leg. Different kind of feel. Do it again, do it again. Reaching forward. Straight back. Start with the straight back and then start easing yourself down. Once again, not a contest. Listen to your body. If you're not listening to your body, something gets pulled and then you're like, no. And then you don't do it again because you're afraid of getting hurt. Pay attention. Listen to yourself. Back on up. Beautiful. going into the right side, keeping the chair turned. So once again, right side, same as before. I'm doing it from this angle. You can always go straight into this area, but just to remind you, right leg out in front, bends knee, heel to arch alignment, or railroad tracks. You can tell because your hips are turned to the side. They're turned facing the chair like we had in Warrior 2. It feels weird. It doesn't feel correct because your back foot is out too far as opposed to into a complete alignment. Railroad tracks. Hips are even to the front. Knees bent. Find this spot. Maybe raise your arms up if you're feeling ambitious. Straightening out. Warrior 1. Straighten it out. Warrior 1. Straightening out. I think we did it 3 times. Warrior 1. Straightening out. Getting into our pyramid again. So keeping legs straight. 45-degree angle. Hip width apart. Or railroad tracks. Heels to touch. Not heels to touch. Sorry, heels in alignment. If you want to touch them, that defeats the whole purpose of the legs being bent. Start easing forward. If this is too much, you can always put a micro bend in your knee. Just a little bend. You don't have to bend it all the way in. That defeats the purpose. Just enough that you're not locking it. Locked knees mean broken knees. At least that's how I always think of them. Once again, if you can get yourself into alignment, you're keeping your ears in your forearms. Don't drop your head. We already discussed this. Keeping your spine straight. And if you have it, you can bring yourself down. Good. Do it again. Reaching forward. Finding a happy spot. In alignment. Beautiful. Because I can't see you, so I'm just assuming. And back out. Oofa. Good? Good. Almost done. We'll do shoulder dips. Take a nap. Because that is weird sensations and weird things. Like I said, I wasn't going to do this one too long. Bring your legs hip width apart. Giving it a second. We'll play around for a moment. Putting your hands on your chair if you need to, or on your thighs. Drop your right leg in. Bring it back up. Left knee in. Up. Right knee drops in. Up. Left knee drops in. Your booty can be dropping off the chair. Just don't fall off the chair. It's about control. Once again, core engagement. I know it's a novel concept. You need a strong core to have a strong back. Shoulder dips. Hands are still on your thighs. Dropping right shoulder looking left. Lift. Left shoulder look right. Lift. Right. Left. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Last one. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, that feels so good on my back. And up. Bring your legs together. Maybe inhale, arms up. Exhale it down. Whatever feels good to you. Any last minute thing you might want to do. Neck cracks, whatever feels good. Resting your back against your chair. Letting it go. Closing your eyes if you like. Bring your hands to your thighs or to your sides. Letting go of your breath, letting it become shallow if it feels good, or keep breathing deeply, up to you. Letting your mind just empty. Stay here as long as you like. If you want to, try this again. But for now, thank you so much for joining me for playing time. Delight me, honors, delight in you. Namaste.